Good evening and welcome along to the Broadcasting Lounge. We are in Detroit tonight for V8 action thanks to SimLabs. Round 7 of the Summer Series here at Detroit Belle Isle Circuit. Joining me in the Broadcasting Lounge tonight is Corey. How's it going, Corey?
Shano, you're in here tonight. Dougie, unfortunately, not managing to make it, but hope all is well. Dougie, yeah, Detroit, everybody's favourite track. I am excited, Shano. I can't wait to get this underway.
Yeah, we're going to see plenty of action. Race control suggesting that it's 100% guaranteed that we're going to see a safety car tonight.
Yeah, turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all going to be menacing with a full grid of Div 1 cars going at it. And we're over halfway. We're on the home stretch, as they say. And I honestly just can't wait for the green light. But we've got a 5-minute warm-up coming up after this. Still 5 minutes left of qualifying too. And weather's looking all good here in Detroit as well, Shane.
Yep, and this is what we've got in store tonight. So you mentioned the weather, 20 degrees Celsius, clear skies and 45% humidity with a 21 kilometre an hour breeze. So a little bit breezy out there, but certainly clear skies, relatively warm temperatures. We could be seeing that track temp pushing up quite high later on in the race. You can see the layout there on the right hand side of that screen. It is a 3.6 kilometre circuit that we've got here in Detroit, and very much a concrete jungle if you're not familiar with it. Street circuit, concrete walls very close wherever you go, and that will be the big challenge for the guys to not only navigate those, but everybody's got to navigate 24 other high powered V8 supercar, Ford Mustang and Chevrolet Camaros as well.
Yeah, and not that, 14 corners, but you've got curbs and they throw you into walls. You've got walls that throw you into walls. Yeah, it's like you say, concrete jungle. But once you get into the flow of it around here and you put down a lap, it makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
Yeah, getting into the flow of it at the moment is Darren Lobb, currently sitting P1, but just 0.019 clear of Leo Duncan, sitting in P2 there. So very tight times. He's pushing on for another lap. These new cars do tend to get the best out of the tyres on lap 2 or 3 by the time you get them up to temperature. So you can do much longer runs than what we're used to seeing in the old Gen 2 cars.
Yeah, I've had a wee nudge at trying to drive these cars around here, and wasn't as enjoyable as the previous two. But I'm sure iRacing will mess with the setup in the coming new build. They'll do something. They always do. But we love you for it. We love you for giving us everything that we have here to race with. So, well, yeah, Lobby's looking to be doing all right. Leo Duncan back in second. Roger Forbert, he's in the pits. The times are all fairly close too, so they're all 131s in the top 4, and then the couple of drivers done exactly the same time. Dr. Death, Jono Gibson, and Gunners Michael Gunstone, both with 132.01s.
Yeah, very tight grid out there. You can see there. Jono, you can see on the timing tower there, Jono and Michael, even to the 1,000th of a second, 10,000th of a second even, unable to be split. 3 decimal places, 0, 0, 0. That's insane.
Yeah, you can barely split it.
But Jono's out there seeing if he can improve and put a little bit more margin back there to Michael Gunstone. Michael's on track as well. Looks like he's on a lap at the moment, and he has got a personal best in the second sector.
That Gunners.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's sitting in 4th in the championship points. I've just pulled them up, Shane. And so Leo Duncan, he's here tonight. He's currently sitting in 2nd in qualifying. He's on 240 points. He's had 3 wins this season. Stefan McCartan, no name on the timing tower, because we know where he is. He's been enjoying the Bathurst 12 hours, so he might be sporting a wee bit of a hangover coming into the start of the week. Maybe he's home and full of regrets from a massive trip, but he's sitting on 224 points. And Daniel Heddershide is 23 points back in third place on 201. And then it's really close. You've got Michael Gunstone on 193. And then we go down to Dane Nordirth in 7th. And he's got 180. So it's fairly tight still in the middle of the pack there in the top 10. So loving it. As you say, we're near the end. Well, the middle of the end.
Yeah, we've just gone over halfway. We're into round 7 out of 12. Time's up in qualifying. Checkered flag is out. Unlike our Thursday night GT3 racing, these guys get to finish their lap off. Sorry, GTE racing on Thursday. It's not GT3. Old habits die hard. But these guys get to finish their lap off at the end of qualifying because it is not heat racing, just a single 35 lap race tonight, and that means that you can finish the lap you're on when the checkered flag comes out in qualifying. Looks like Darren Lobb pretty safe for pole position. Leo Duncan has given up on his run for sitting in P2 there. Johnny Gibson has reset back to the pits as well, still on equal time with this guy. And Michael's just clipped the wall there, hopefully not enough to pick up a 1X there. And oh no, he's bailed, he's come back to the pits. So Johnny Gibson and Michael Gunstone are going to finish qualifying locked on the same time. Matthew Pluck comes across the line, stays P8. So Jono is going to take P5 off Michael Gunstone, probably based on doing that time first, or it could be based on going down to a decimal point that we don't get to see on the timing as well.
Yeah, so it looks like Leo Duncan actually improved on his time and got so close to Darren Lobb's time. So you get Darren Lobb a 13134, Leo Duncan 13136. So that was his last lap. So he did put it all on the line for that last one.
Yeah, that is insanely tight for pole position. But Darren Lobb taking the pole, Leo Duncan lining up P2 from Roger Forbert. Russell Pepperell is going to line up alongside Roger on the second row there, and we're just waiting for qualifying to tick its way down. Everybody's finished their laps. We can't even bring up the results until it's officially finished, but that's alright. Or maybe we
Yeah,
can now.
it's
See if we
almost.
can.
It's going to go into a 5-minute warm up. I'm going to go be silly in a Pro 2 truck briefly.
There we go, we do have some qualifying results up there. So Darren Lobb, pole position, Leo Duncan second, Roger Forbert third, Russell Pepperell fourth. Jono Gibson and Michael Gunstone will take the sixth row, and then down to graph third row for Johnny Gibson and Michael Gunstone. Then down to graph Matthew Pluck, Brodie Scott, Robbie Bradbury rounding out the top 10. And then we roll on back to Trent Bennett, Daniel Heddershide, Peter Vanderberg, Scott McKenzie, Eamon Young, Jason Cossey, Jordan Duffett, Chris Suppich, Dane Noda, Liam Jacobs.
Aaron's coming. And
then 21st is Glenn Collinson, 22nd Dan Nolan, Blake Greenhill 23rd, Ross Watson 24th, and Stefan Adams looks like he's going to round out the grid in 25th. Actually, Derek Lovegrove will be rounding out the back of the grid there. Qualifying 27th, not getting the time in, but Sean McNamara, Aaron Goodrick and Corey Kitchen are all race control. Well, Corey's in here with me, Sean McNamara and Aaron Goodrick race control, so they are not going to be taken to the grid.
oh, the road is blocked, Shane.
Trophy trucks on track in the warm-up. Front bumper coming off, Corey.
Yep, I had a run-in with Aaron, and him and Sean have had a run-in. I'm not sure what happened to them. Of course, there's no rules, so I guess you can do what you like.
Absolutely. So Sean's truck is completely missing the bonnet. Aaron's truck is actually looking in relatively decent condition.
Oh, I just linked up the. Oh, you need to go and start a replay of that around the fountain.
I don't think it's triggered any data to give me a replay on that, unfortunately.
Bit of a tank slap on the wall. I'm going to go another lap.
That bonnet's really trying to make its way off.
They haven't even finished their lap yet.
No, they haven't. They're coming around now. Aaron's got it stepping out. He's going to come across second. Sean, no bonnet at all, coming across third. Aaron's just managed to take his own bonnet off.
What a fun.
Alright, see if you can generate a live replay now.
Oh, into the tyres. Not sure how far Dane was behind me then.
It was pretty close all the way through.
Oh, good work there from Jason Cossey, going around the back of me sideways.
Just picking his way through. That bonnet's been trying to make it escape for the last lap and a half. I think you need to put it out of its misery.
Right, I'll run it straight, Shano. And, for all that footy season love, how much time we got left? It's going to go
None.
on me before I get there, isn't it?
Yep. Oh, you tried.
I did. I really did.
Well, we're going to be
Right.
ready to go racing. Hi, Scotty. Dropping it in the comments as usual. Good to see you, mate.
Yeah, get out there on the track, Scotty. Div 2 needs you.
The car's starting to line up on the grid now. Only 1 minute of gridding time, thanks to the warm-up session there. That reduces that gridding time. Good view from down at turn 1 here, and we're going to be able to see them all charging in once they get the green flag.
Yeah. Tricky getting a group of cars through these first two corners here. So I think having the inside at the front is going to be an advantage.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. So that is going to go to Leo Duncan. So if he can get the jump, he could muscle his way through.
Yeah, he has been having good starts. Oh, here we go. We got the lights. Oh, we're on.
We're
And they're
away.
off. And
Big wheel
yeah.
spins from Darren Lobb, but Leo getting away slowly as well. But gets alongside, gets down into turn 1, and they make their way through. Looking pretty clean so far. Oh yeah, there's something going on at the back. We'll wait and see if anybody needs to request a tow, which would trigger a safety car. But Leo has still going side by side with Darren Lobb into turn 1. He's got the inside line. Looks like he's been able to get in front. Oh, bit of Bit of tyre smoke in the background there. Sounds like somebody might have gone around on the exit. Can't see anything there in the distance from turn 4. As they snake their way through the staircase section now. Leo's still holding on to that lead, but very tight at the front. And
Yeah,
Leo's gonna
looking
lead.
good. Yeah, sorry, Shane. Looking
Okay.
good though so far though. Yeah, you know, there's that little incident there at turn 1, and everybody looks to have got through the rest of it. All clean so far, touching wood. We go round the fountain.
Yeah, no sign of a safety car as a response to that turn 1 incident, so obviously everybody able to carry on, no one having to request a tow for that, and we can push on and keep things under green flag conditions. As Leo Duncan leads them through at the end of the first lap, Darren Lobb very close behind, just 0.2 of a second.
Yeah, Lobby is slow starter this season. It's taken a little bit longer than normal for him to get the groove on the car, but he seems to have got his way there towards the front. So, good work keeping it going, eh?
Yeah, absolutely, and they're a tricky car to get off the line, as I just noticed Russell Pepperell running wide behind Darren Lobb. Managed to keep it on track, not having to go down the escape road and not ending up in the tyres, so got away with that, but he's dropped a lot of time to Darren Lobb. He was pretty close in behind up until that moment, but Darren certainly still putting the pressure on Leo Duncan, and as I was saying, these are a very tricky car to get off the line, and we saw Darren lighting it up. Leo not getting away particularly well himself, and I think Roger Forbert was actually challenging in the background as well, but ended up running out of space and just ended up that of the two front guys, Leo got the slightly better of the bad starts and was able to get on the inside and make his way through by the time they got down to turn 3.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been the all season being at the front row, whoever gets the better start, and the inside has prevailed. Leo Duncan, he's only got a small gap there, as I see one of the Jason Cossey having an issue, flicked up on my other screen.
Oh yeah, he's gone around. Looks like he's found the
Oh,
wall, but not too much damage, so he's been able to flick it around and carry on, so we should stay green.
yeah, Leo Duncan slightly faster than Lobby that last lap by.
Good battle midway through the top 10 here, down to Graf involved. He's got Matthew Pluck just behind him and Michael Gunstone in front, putting the pressure on while also watching the mirrors a little bit, I think.
Yes, yeah, one of those tracks where you can get caught out doing that too, hey, keeping an eye on the mirror, and all of a sudden you've braked a little bit late and a wall hits you in the face. Manny McDonald in the chat, the trucks were more entertaining. They definitely were, mate. You know, it's the drivers probably that made them entertaining, Matty.
So Dion's still just sitting under that PSR rear wing.
Of course, everybody's going to have to stop with some fuel to get themselves home. And you reckon they'll be taking tyres, Shane? I reckon this track will be pretty hard on them.
Yeah, I would definitely be taking tyres if it was me.
Yeah, I reckon you'd be silly not to, but if you were trying to make a gain and you had the balls, yeah, well, somebody's going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely, and we just got the right information for you up on the timer tower. I realised we had the timer there, which wasn't really relevant because it will be a lap race tonight. If we manage to go time certain, I would be very surprised. It would take a lot of safety car interventions for us to get to time certainty. But yes,
Yeah, no, that would be unfortunate, wouldn't it?
it would be. Nobody likes a time certain finish on something that's meant to be a lap race. And we've got a 35 lapper tonight, currently on lap 4, and we were all expecting an early safety car, but nothing as yet. So very impressed with how clean this has been. But Dion de Graaf putting the pressure on Michael Gunstone still, but Michael just getting a good exit out of there onto the back straight, and Dion momentarily maybe just coming under a little bit of pressure from Matthew Plucker behind, but Dion very good under brakes there and closes up again. Matty McDonald saying shout out to Michael Gunstone. He's done so well even with no sense of smell.
Oh, you smell what the rocket's cooking?
I'd love to know what the story is there. I'd also love to know how sense of smell affects driving.
Yeah, I smell bullshit. Oh well, you've got to be honest.
Absolutely.
Yes. In a track like this, you've got to be honest with yourself too.
Oh, Matty Pluck having a big slide off turn 2 there, but catches it. Dion having half a look. Just pulls back in line. Matty Pluck going absolutely 10 tenths at the moment. Chucking it in the grass on the exit of turn 3.
You're plenty close right through the field as well. Darren Lobb and Leo Duncan with a 2-second gap back to a pack. Russell Pepperell, Roger Forbert, Jono Gibson just in front of these three. A bit of pack racing going on. At least you got somebody to race with. You try and keep it that way right to the last lap. Makes it more fun for me.
Yeah, it's always good to have battles. Bit of a battle going on just outside the top 10 as well. Peter Vanderberg sitting in behind Daniel Hedderscheid, and Daniel's got Robbie Bradbury just in front of him sitting in P10. So this is basically a three-way battle for 10th. And a train of Misfits cars as well, actually, off the back of that, with Scott McKenzie sitting in 13th and Trent Bennett putting pressure on him sitting in behind in 14th.
Yeah, I think we agreed that if there was more than 2 Misfits cars, it becomes a gaggle, I think.
A gaggle?
A gaggle? No, it's a gang of Misfits.
Oh, a gang, sorry.
Yeah, gang of Misfits.
That's actually quite appropriate as a collective noun, isn't it?
It is. It's just good play on words. I just noticed two. Robbie Bradbury, who is in 10th, he's where he started. Brody Scott, Matthew Pluck, Dion DeGraff, Michael Gunstone and Jono Gibson, right through to 5th from 10th. So the rear 5, the top 10, or 6, sorry, all where they started.
Yeah, that's very impressive. So those guys obviously all showing plenty of patience, just slotting into where they've started, getting decent enough starts, although Dion DeGraff and Michael Gunstone have just swapped. Dion's got the move done.
Ooh,
Oh, has he?
Undone it.
Has he? Oh, Gunstone gets him back, but oh, he's down the inside. There's a little bit of a rub. Oh. Looks like he's made it stick. Matt Pluck now looking to see if he can capitalise on Gunners having a little bit of a reduction in momentum there.
Yeah, maybe a cooking of the tyres.
Well, I really want to see how that started, because we picked it up because we were talking about those guys all holding position, and then as I looked at my timing screen, it changed. So here is the change. So he's just managed to get it down the inside onto the back straight there, and going side by side all the way down. Matty Pluck trying to pick his lane, maybe not quite giving Dion a push. Gunners almost got clear, but Dion just kept half a nose in there and then was able to slide all the way down into that gap, knowing that he had that overlap still sitting there.
Yeah, probably good move from Gunners to back out at that point, knowing that Dion, as he is committed. So he gave it his all, and he manages to hang in there to fight another lap.
Yeah, that's right. So while we're looking at replays, we can go back and have a look at the start. This was the first starter that showed up, Glenn Collinson crashing. So he's, ooh, side by side with his teammate, but it was actually just avoiding someone else going around. on the left. Not quite picking up who that was, unfortunately, but and it looks like no data showing on that one. But
It might have been
Glenn,
Jordan Duffett, maybe. White car. I did see it. I've been trying to work it out too since the start of the race.
wonder if this might show it. No, so Jordan was. Oh yeah, so there we go. So he's got caught up with a couple of Misfits cars, and then you did just see off to the left of screen the Misfits car going hard right.
Yeah, if you go back to live on Jordan Duffett, he's actually missing his bumper. So I wonder if he's come across as somewhere else along the line as well.
Yeah, well, I was getting to that. I do have some data on him, but I will get to that in a moment. We also had uh, Ewan Young on lap 2, so that turn 1 and 2 incident was the only incident of the first lap. This was Ewan Young on lap 2, having a moment. Oh, just losing it out of turn 4, nose in the barrier. I think we caught the end of that one, didn't we?
Yeah, did I see? Maybe Jason Cossey might be another one you may have data on.
Yep, so Jason Cossey. Oh,
That's the one we caught, isn't it?
yeah,
Is it?
yeah. I think you're right there. Very similar incidents. Not quite the same corner, but very similar incidents. Teammates. Yeah, not the best races for Digital Bogans so far, but plenty of time for it to come right. And this was Jordan Duffett's second crash more recently, in behind Blake Greenhill. Ooh, he's just got a bit deep and trying to avoid contact, I think, just didn't turn into the corner because I think he knew if he did try and turn into the corner that contact was going to be made and just ended up in the tyres as a result. And I think that front bumper is going to drop off very soon. Certainly we know
Yes.
it did drop off somewhere because as we go back live, he doesn't have a front bumper anymore.
Yeah, maybe lacking a little bit of aero. We see Eamon Young managing to get around him. We did see them before. He was in behind.
Yeah, I'd be pretty keen to get it and get a fast repair, but of course you have got to think about fuel windows. Not sure what that looks like tonight, whether they're in the window to be able to fuel up and get home, and of course tyre windows as well, as far as how far do you want to go on a set of tyres. 26 laps still to go. That's a long way on a set of tyres.
Yeah, you're going to see the guys go as far as they can on their fuel. So a bit of fuel saving. It is a track that is very known for being able to be fuel saved on, and it is also known to be a good track to get the undercut.
Scott Mackenzie and Trent Bennett continuing to go at it in Misfits colours. Just for a moment I thought Scott was going to pull out at the end of the back straight and go for a move. Sorry, I thought Trent was going to pull out at the end of the back straight and go for a move. But now Scott's just been able to stretch the legs through the fountain section. Peter Vanderberg just pulling out and slowing up a little bit there, and that gap back to Scott just closing up, and the gap up to Robbie Bradbury just stretching out a wee bit. Looks like he's
Yeah.
got back underway though, so maybe just a moment getting on the power a bit too hard and having a half slide and getting offline there as a result, but he's managed to gather it up and get back going again.
Yeah, managing to save it is always a pat on the back for yourself because, well, the older cars, they didn't like to get the oversteer, but these cars seem to like it a
Yeah,
little.
you can step them out a little bit. You can drive them on the slide and correct them, which is a lot of fun. And you know, we've definitely all been there. I think in the old cars where you just squirt the throttle a little bit too much and it just goes around on you. Where in these cars you do that and you actually have a chance to catch that slide and carry on, which is definitely a much more pleasurable driving experience, I find anyway.
Yeah, I do like to drive with a little bit of oversteer. Nobody likes understeer, do they?
Not at all.
No, that just puts you straight in the fence around a track like this.
Peter Vanderberg getting close to Robbie Bradbury again. I just saw Matt Pluck showing the nose on Michael Gunstone. This is super tight racing. Like, we were looking at P13 and 14 a moment ago, and you can see them coming around the corner in the background while we're looking at P7 and P8. So tight all the way through the pack at the moment.
Yeah, it is, and we say it. That's what we want to see, and we want to see it tight battles all the way to the end. When it stretches out and puts a gap, no fun for anyone. So we'll take a moment to shout out the weekly sponsor, Shano. So OKMS Media and Graphics, BJ Brett O'Keefe. He's a Kiwi. He's living over in Perth, and in his spare time likes to do some iRacing paints. He looks after the team paints for KRF Motorsports. And he does paints for various guys in the league running around with some OKMS paints. I don't think there's anybody in the server tonight with one, but yeah, so if you're looking to get an iRacing paint done or logos, quite handy with the old Photoshop as BJ. So you jump on the old OKMS Facebook page and yeah, give them a like and a follow and see what sort of stuff he puts out.
And he does some great sim photography as well. There was a time there where he was going through all our race servers and taking photos for us, and absolutely beautiful images he put together.
Yes, do love to see that. It just shows you what these computer games can do and what they look like now, especially when you've got a little bit of money in your kit and your computer's grunty. The picture is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. We love to see it.
Yes, so thank you very much, OKMS. And yeah, we love our weekly sponsors. And without them getting involved in the racing, it'd be a little bit boring. Because some of them give us stuff to give away and things like that.
Ooh, here we go, Matt Pluck down the inside on Michael Gunstone. Side by side into turn 4. Gunner's able to hold it on the outside though. That's going to give him the inside for 5. And look how this has allowed Brodie Scott to close up. And now Matt either needs to get this pass done or risk being passed himself. He gets it done, and now Gunners is going to be vulnerable to Brodie Scott. In fact, Brodie's been able to get past, and Daniel Heddershide looking to follow his teammate through as well. This is getting very tight here at the moment. Oh, thought we might see a bit of 3 wide there, but not quite. But Gunners and Daniel continuing to go side by side.
What a great exchange from these two.
And eventually looks like Daniel's going to get that move done, and that shows when the pack is as tight as it is there, when you go side by side with someone for a couple of corners, how quickly you can drop 3 spots in the space of probably just over half a lap there.
Yeah, and you get a little bit mad with stuff. You see Gunners into the pits, along with Robbie Bradbury, Peter Vanderberg as well, into the pits to make their stop. So far, we've got 4 cars that have been down the lane, and they look like 3 misfits and a jigsaw racing car.
Yeah, a little bit on the early side in terms of 13 laps out of 35, so halfway would be looking at around lap 17. So about 4 laps shy of halfway. Not super long to go on the second stint, but certainly going to be longer than what they've gone in the first stint. And they're all off the jacks and away again. Looks like Michael lost a little bit of time to Robbie Bradbury, but manages to jump out ahead of Peter Vanderberg. Let's get it on a camera where we can actually see the cars again.
Yeah, a wee bit of a spread, but I'm sure that those gaps are going to close up a little bit. I see Dan Nolan coming out of the pits, so I think he may have had some issues because it was. He's been in twice, so I wonder if he's managed to get himself in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, that's interesting coming to the pits twice. This could be a little bit of controversy here. So Ross Watson having a slide, keeps it going, stops on track, and tows to the pits. Now, we obviously didn't have a safety car call, and it didn't look like he stopped for any particular amount of time to be requesting a tow there.
Yeah, he's manually connected, so maybe something's happened and he's had to get off the sim. So, hope everything's all good, Ross.
Yeah, hopefully. That's disappointing that he's had to disconnect.
Yes, well, you never know. Something may have happened. His chippies might be burning. You see Dane Nordworth and Chris Supasich into the pits now too to take their pit stop.
So Darren Lobb still hasn't been able to find his way around Leo Duncan at the front, but continuing to put the pressure on. I wonder if he's just sitting in behind, saving a little bit of fuel, saving some tyres, but we know from qualifying that they're very evenly matched as well, so probably no surprise that he hasn't been able to find his way past. Certainly, if you're close on times, it's one thing to be faster and get ahead in qualifying, but once you lose that track position, if you're as tight as these guys were, you can be faster and put all the pressure on in the world, but it becomes very difficult to try and make a move. I do suspect Darren might be thinking undercut in the back of his mind, although we do know that he tends to like to go longer on his opening stints. So could also be thinking about playing the Shane Van Gisbergen tactic, sit him behind for now, look after his tyres, go as long into the race as he can get away with, and then get some fresh tyres on the car late in the race and use that to get a pace advantage over Leo that might allow him to put a move on late in the race. And I hope it does go that way, because that will give us a very exciting finish.
Yes. 20 laps to go though, isn't it? Let's go.
Yeah, still
Some of these guys that are
plenty of racing.
pitted, some of these guys that are pitted, they're going to have a struggle at the end of the race, I reckon, with tyres. So I think you mentioned that before. I'm 100% on board with it. You want to go long. I think that's the best option here.
Yeah, generally when I'm out there in these cars, I like to try and split the race as evenly as possible. So I think everybody expected to just make the one stop tonight. So you'd be looking at around lap 17 to pit halfway, and you'd end up with a slightly shorter 16 lap stint to the end. So you could, if you felt like you'd used a lot of those tyres early, put on lap 16 and give yourself a 17 lap stint. But certainly doing it that way gives you a considerable length on both stints. If you can stretch that first one out a little bit and go a bit further, then you can make your job that little bit easier in the second stint. We have just seen down the graph put a move on Jono Gibson to move up into P4. We caught the end of that, but we should be able to see that from a little bit further back. It was actually for P5 at the time, but I think they've just gone past someone in the pits. And very similar move that Dion put on someone else earlier. I forget who it was. Gunners, that's the one. Yep. Gets down the inside, alongside down the back straight, and then has the inside for that corner, but much further up, getting to the apex of that one, and gets the job well and truly done by the time they get to the fountain corner.
Another flurry of pit stops. Stefan Adams. Oh, now I've missed who the rest because they've all come back out. I know Stefan was one of them. I think Jason Cossey. No, Roger Forbert was one of them, and he's come back out in 11th. And is the first car that has made a stop.
Yeah, so that's always a favourable position to find yourself in, having made that stop and come out first to the guys that have done that. Down to Graf into the pits now, so we'll see where he pops out. Coming down the lane, moving it over into the service lane, and stops on his marks, goes up on the jacks, presumably doing some tyres while he gets the fuel in there, but can't really tell with these cars whether they're doing tyres or not because they always go up on the jacks even when they're just doing fuel.
So the times in the pits so far vary from 14.18 through to 18.58. So all similar, so probably varying levels of fuel. Or maybe they didn't hit their mark 100% as well.
Yeah, that definitely has an effect how you line up in your pit box. So Dion has coming up behind Roger Fulbert, just ahead of Eamon Young.
Yeah, Liam Jacobs up 12 spots too into P8, and Balaki, who's only in his second week of running the car, up 10 spots into P13.
Oh, as Blake is
Oh no,
a big slide.
I did
Oh,
it. And there he goes, drops 3 of those. I'm sorry, Blake.
to be fair, I think that those numbers were probably affected as well by the fact that he hasn't been to the pits yet. He had already had an incident earlier on that I'd seen come up on the data.
Yeah, nice fresh new paint job for Balaki too. Marcus Ambrose, one of your favourite races of all time, Shane?
No,
Oh, no.
definitely not.
How are you feeling about Red Bull switching to Mustang, Shane?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, I love this. Of course, folks, it's just a running game, bit of banter between Doug, Shane, and myself, and Sean, and all the rest of the awesome guys that are on the Ford bandwagon.
Yeah, well, I will say this: I can understand that with Chevrolet offering a product that is being withdrawn from the market, already wasn't being sold in Australia. Yeah, I can understand why Triple Eight were looking for other manufacturers to partner with, and they obviously had some good conversations with Ford and were quite happy with what they have to offer. And at the end of the day, we know that they were originally a Ford team when they first came to supercars. They transitioned to Holden for commercial reasons, and now they're looking to be what's the best option for us to keep winning races, and they've decided that's Ford. So credit to them, that's their choice, and they've made their decision. I'm sure some of their old fans are going to come flying back next year.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. What make do you reckon should make a play at getting amongst supercars? Be cool. I reckon maybe Cadillac. Cadillac might get a run. You never know.
Yeah, well, there's all sorts that could get involved. Obviously, with Toyota coming on board, that shows that not just limited to the American cars.
Yeah, let's get a GDR back. I think they're still
Oh, that'd
banned.
be cool.
Yeah, they got more than a week ban, they did. Hey, Robbie Bradbury's still where he started, 10th. Well done, Robbie. Actually, Trent Bennett and Daniel Hederscheid now in 11th and 12th, all where they started. All having a race together too. It's a tight battle actually, from 10th looking right through to 15th, Peter Vandenberg on the back of that train.
Yes, super tight battle pack through here. Jordan Duffett in amongst that, still yet to come to the pits, still missing that front splitter. I cannot believe he hasn't been in for a fast yet. I wonder if he's worked out that he's missing that. Like, you can't see it. Maybe he's thought, oh, my tyres have gone off a bit.
Maybe we should go on board with him and see how his car's tracking. He's really working it. He's having to really work it. Look at that. The steering wheel was on a little bit of a lean to the left. A turn to the left, I must say. Obviously not when you're turning right, but let's check it out on the straight.
Oh yeah, it is quite a bit left hand down the straight, isn't it?
Yeah, so he's working with a bruised beast. Up 4 spots into P13 though, so he's making hay while the sun shines.
but not pitted, and he's got a number of guys not too far behind that have pitted, so he's going to drop once he does come to the pits. But I, to be honest, can't understand it. 20 laps into a 35 lap race, surely you'd want it to be in for a faster period by now. Oh, all action up ahead. He's had the best seat in the house for that. So that was Trent Bennett, Robbie Bradbury and Daniel Hedderscheid all going at it, and they've all got through there cleanly and continuing the battle out onto the back straight now. Or the back not so straight.
Yeah, there was a call to race control with that incident. They're currently looking at it, so we'll wait to hear any news on that.
Oh, Daniel Hedderscheid getting out into the marbles and having a big old slide. That's put Michael Gunstone all over the back of him now.
Yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see those fully floored cars back here on the grid. Daniel and Brodie Scott representing. I believe Daniel's dad is the other driver, I believe as well. Is that right, Shane?
I believe so. Or I know it's Simon Hedderscheid is the other one. I believe they are father and son. I just can't remember which way around. Although looking at that picture of Daniel there, he's fairly young in that picture, so you're probably right there that Daniel's the son and Simon's the father.
Here we go. We just had a call from race control. So car 69 is asking a redress to car 35. So that's Robbie Bradbury and Trent Bennett.
Yep, and looks like he's done that. Done a good job of it as well. It was a tricky spot there where a number of cars close in behind Robbie Bradbury there, and actually hasn't quite got away with it yet. Daniel Hedderscheid sniffing down the inside, coming up here, and oh, is he going to slide down there? Oh, slide is the right word, but that's hurt his momentum off the corner, I think. That it's still going. But it looks like Trent's managed to just hold him off for now at least, but all that battling has allowed Robbie Bradbury to run away with it as well.
Yeah, it's brought that pack close together. So from Trent Bennett back to Dane Nordirth, P16 in this train here. That's a few cars. So you've got Trent Bennett, Daniel Hedderscheid, Michael Gunstone, Jordan Duffett, who is yet to pit, Brodie Scott, Peter Vanderberg, Scott McKenzie, Dane Nordirth, Chris Supasich, Liam Jacobs. Oh no, they're a little bit further back. Chris Supasich is about 5 seconds back and 17th off the back of Dane Nordirth on the back of this pack.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, especially this far into the race to see such a large, tight battle pack through the midfield there.
Yeah, and right up the front still, that same 0.3 second gap Darren Lobb has kept behind Leo Duncan. He is fuel saving, eh? We know Darren Lobb, and he's just happy sitting there. He's nothing losing being where he is at the moment, just waiting for his chance.
Yeah, and interesting as well, sitting at 12 laps to go at the end of this current lap, Matthew Pluck just comes into the pits now. But these guys still yet to pit, both of them. I know Darren likes to go longer, but
Yep,
that's
just
interesting.
safety car boards and flagged.
So you can pretty much guarantee these guys are going to push on and come straight to the pits at the end of this one. You'd be silly not to get straight into the pits and queue up behind the safety car and have everybody else queue up behind and have to pit later. So we'll follow these guys around. Neither of them can pass, but if one of them has a shorter pit stop, if Darren's been able to save a bit of fuel sitting in the draft and have shorter time sitting in that pit box, He's allowed to pass him that way.
That's right, if he can get across the pit exit line before Leo Duncan and cleanly he gets that pass done. See Jordan Duffett in the lane to get that bumper put back on. That safety car couldn't have come at a better time for him. Because it gives him a competitive car for the rest of his races. We see the 2 leaders come in and a lot of smoke from Darren Lobb.
Yeah, Darren was all locked up, and I think he actually made contact with Leo Duncan on the way in. No harm, no foul. They'll both take a fast repair if there's any damage done, and it'll be as if nothing happened, so that's all good.
My guess is 15 seconds, 15 and a half seconds is how much they're going to be up.
So worth noting as well that Darren's got the pit box in front because he did qualify on pole. And they both drop at exactly the same time. Darren's got him. I was thinking he would react, but I don't think that was so much as a reaction as just that was the fuel he needed, because they literally dropped at exactly the same time.
Yeah, it's Leo Duncan 15.85 up on the jack. Darren Lobb 14.47. So 1 second faster and gets out in front and will be behind the Allport safety truck, which we're going to have to get some new stickers on, aren't we? We're going to have to put the SimLab stickers on there, I think. And while we mentioned that, SimLab, ladies and gentlemen, you can get their products from Allports. And if you can see up the top of the screen there, scrolling along, if you jump in there on selected products on allports.nz and put in the code at checkout SCNZ in capital letters, it'll nab yourself 15% off selected products, and that is a great deal from Chitty and the team and tongue twister. Chitty and the team at Allports. We love you guys for backing the V8 series and putting up all the awesome stuff for us. And that code, let us know what you buy. Get in there. That's some awesome deals.
Yeah, if you want to see the range of what you can pick up on that discount code, all the links are on the community page, Supercars NZ community on Facebook. So I've managed to pick up why we're under safety car, I believe. So it looks like an incident involving Stefan Adams and Dan Nolan. Stefan losing it there. Slaps the tyres and carry on. Maybe it was 2 unrelated incidents actually. I've got data, had that data on Stefan, I've got data on Dan Nolan as well. So it looks like Dan might have been an incident by himself. Oh, hard into the wall there, and ends up on the outside wall. And that was where I saw a car sitting as the leaders came through. So that one there is the reason for the safety car. Unfortunate Dan Nolan just having a big lose there and hard into the wall. Almost sounded like maybe a stuck throttle. So
Yeah, look at those skid marks. He did the
yeah,
swirly whirlies into the wall, didn't he?
he did.
Ooh.
Certainly stayed in the throttle for a long time after contact. So whether that was just out of frustration he kept his foot in it, or maybe I've certainly been there where you lose a spring in your throttle pedal and it does react exactly as though you just got your throttle stuck wide open. That could be what happened.
And he is back out there, so he's been in there and got himself a fast repair. He's tidied up that jigsaw Camaro, making it look all spick and span again.
Well, it's good to see him getting back out there. Not good to see him getting into the wall, but good to see him getting back out there. 10 laps to go at the end of this lap. Hopefully we'll get a restart at the end of this one and have that as the run to the checkered flag.
Yep, she will be green this lap. I reckon you keep an eye on AA Ron in the safety truck. He might give us a wee bit of a show. Of course, Darren Lobb has control of the field at the restart.
And looks like AA Ron pulling away from the pack now and sliding it up for us.
Yeah, let's not put it in the fence.
We've seen Nick Mitchell crash the safety car on in laps a couple of times before.
Yeah, never fun when you're the safety car driver. You get put under a little bit of pressure. All you got to do is get away from the field, and it all comes a cropper. They all go past, and you look back to the pits.
Alright, well, Aaron just about back at the pit lane. Darren Lobb has control of the field. And he's waiting.
Yeah, 23
Still
cars on the
waiting.
lead lap.
And
There he
now
goes.
he goes. Left that as late as possible. Matthew Pluck and Johnny Gibson going side by side into turn 1, as are Robbie Bradbury and Daniel Heddershide.
Yeah, if Robbie holds on to that, he may just, no, as Daniel got in front, he has. He's got some pressure on the outside now too from Brent Bennett. Oh, it's not a too wide corner. Oh, that's not a too wide corner.
They're making it a too wide corner.
Well, yeah, we can call it a too wide corner now. It's been done. Oh, you don't want to be on the outside. As we see, what is that?
Oh, 3 wide
Gunners.
contact.
Gunners.
Bradbury dropping back.
Got Trent Bennett round as well, is it?
Oh,
No.
Scott McKenzie.
It is, yes.
Safety cars breed safety cars, but they've managed to get it back going, both guys, although Scott's slapping the tyres on the flick spin, but is able to keep going, so we should stay green now. Oh, Leo Duncan right up on the curb there. Darren's just been able to pull out just over half a second margin on the restart lap, but Leo's certainly not going away by any means.
Oh, poor Jordan Duffett. He's in the wars again.
Oh, yep, he's gone around.
A wee bit of rub with whoever it was that he was running with there. And, yeah, it comes a croppers. But the car's all in one piece. Let's hope it's tracking straight.
I will say he's running a lot of front camber on that car. Don't know if that's impacting his troubles, but yeah, certainly
That rubber.
plenty of front camber. Yes, so much marbles off track, and with the new debris refresh, that has even more effect than it used to. The marbles on track did have an effect before, but even more effective now with the new debris refresh. And of course, you can also have dirt and grass and other junk dragged onto the track that can have an impact. Not too many places where you're going to be dragging dirt and grass on around here, but there are a couple of places where there's some grass lining the track.
Hey, Nortooth has found himself in pit lane again, so he's obviously had to come in for fast repairs. Not been his night.
Yeah, I did see him in the pits there. Haven't been able to pick up any data on what happened to him there. Down the graphs looking to take advantage of the field bunching up under safety car and looking to gain another spot as he's putting the pressure on Roger Forbert.
Yeah, Roger's only lost one spot in this race, and that's Russell Pepperell, who's managed to get in front of him. And yeah, the front two are back in the order that they started as well. And Eamon Young is the only other car that is where he started in 15. You know, Corey's random stats.
Oh dear, I'm getting very close under that rear wing of Roger Forbert.
Yeah, take another chance to shout out this week's weekly sponsor, OKMS Media and Graphics, BJ, Brett O'Keefe. And if you're looking to get some photos done, or maybe even some iRacing paints, or you're after a logo, if he's got some spare time, he did inform me he's doing quite a few hours a month at the moment, but you know, it doesn't hurt to jump on the old OKMS Media and Graphics Facebook page and send a message, and definitely have a look at it.
Yeah, he's certainly got a lot going on over there in Perth, doesn't he? Got the race car to work on.
Yeah, the HQ, the mighty HQ. Keeps him honest, I think, and yeah, being in the sim racing.
So Dion just dropping back off Roger a little bit there, just had a little bit of a slide out of that hairpin after the fountain section. Closing in again.
So the incidents that we did witness just before, all being thrown out as racing incidents, no further action from race control.
Yeah, that seems like a fair assessment to me.
Yeah, and he did say Dane was involved there. Dane actually thinking that he'd got him, he'd done the wrong, and asked race control to take a look, and he was cleared as well.
Oh, very cool, and good on Dane for putting his hand up and asking race control to look at it without the other driver having to call it in.
Yeah, 100%. And we'd love to see good sportsmanship. You know, those drivers that just automatically will do a redress, and yeah, they're special, those drivers. They're all special, really, aren't they?
Some more than others.
Yeah, they're different kind of special.
So Robbie Bradbury putting a bit of pressure on Chris Upperstitch at the moment. 19th and 20th, so down the order, but it'll mean just as much to them as those guys that are fighting over the podium positions.
Biggest mover of the race, Stefan Adams, up 12 spots into P13.
Yeah, that's big moving going on there for Stefan, so racing very well. Actually, Stefan always seems to be one that does feature on our biggest movers list, doesn't he? So it'd be good to see how he could go if he got his one lap pace a little bit better and was able to qualify a little bit higher up the grid. I'd love to see how high up we could finish if he managed to do that. But I think a lot of it actually comes from putting his car in the right position and driving in good heads-up fashion to be able to take advantage of other people's incidents. As Robbie Bradbury almost getting into the back of Chris Upsitch there. Oh, down to Graf. Again, going side by side through this section with Roger Forbert, and he's managed to get that one done.
Shoulders out tonight is De Graaf.
He's up to P4, one spot off the podium, but unfortunately for Dion, Russell Pepperell is now nearly 4 seconds up the road, and what have we got left? Well, 4 laps as they're about to come across the line now, so unless Russell makes a mistake, I think that's probably a little bit too much of a gap for him to try and close in. He just lost a bit too much time in behind Roger Forbert there.
Yeah, I think Russell might be a little bit faster. Just over a second difference between the two on the last lap, and about half a second over their fastest.
So we can see how Dion got the move done. So this one, starting into this corner where we finished the previous ones, and a good switch back there to get alongside. Got the nose ahead into there, and bit of a rub, and sweeps around the outside to get the move done. Very good move.
Oh, hell yeah, Detroit.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Dion putting a few very good moves on at a track which, being a concrete jungle, is often looked at as a track that's not all that easy to pass around. There's a couple of big opportunities, but just the fact that you do have to be considerate of the fact that if you push the guy on the outside too wide, there's always going to be a concrete wall there. It can be hard to get a good, clean move done, and Dion's been able to pull 3 very good, very clean moves in this race to make his way up through the field into P4 now after starting back in 7th.
Yeah, he's definitely putting a bit of a gap now to Roger Forbert. He's got the hammer down. That was about a second quicker that last lap, and actually a little bit faster than Russell Petrel. So he's doesn't really have the laps probably to catch up at half a second a lap. But all it takes is one mistake too from Russell or either of these two front runners, and it could be all over, or it's still anyone's game.
Yeah, absolutely. With the walls so close, it just takes running a little bit wide, slapping the wall in the wrong way to put that rear wheel out of alignment and have a very either long limp back to the pits, or if you can try and limp it back to the finish, a very long 3 laps to limp it back with a bruised car. And if anything like that happens, then Dion will be right in the picture to try and snatch that podium off him.
Yeah, another thing to look at too is Roger Forbert. He came in lap 15, Dion de Graaf lap 16, Russell Petrel lap 17. So 1 lap fresher tyres to the car in front is the difference between them three.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one as well. Probably, I think, um, not sure if Roger had track position on Dion earlier in the race. I think he probably did because Dion's down 2 spots. So Roger's down 2 spots and Dion up 3. So I think they probably were. I think Roger probably was ahead of Dion before the pit stops, but certainly getting in a lap earlier wouldn't have hurt in cementing that. Dion just running a little bit wide at turn 1 there, a little bit of a mistake, and that allows Roger to creep that a little bit closer. So while he's got his eyes forward, looking to see if he can be there if Russell runs into any problems, he's also got to be aware of the fact that Roger's not all that far behind, and if Dion runs into any issues, Roger will pounce very quickly.
Yeah, they had 2 laps to go. 1 to go this time by? No, 2 to go. Silly me.
Yeah, 2 at the end of this one. Daniel Heddershide. I think he's been battling Johnny Gibson just about the whole race, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's up 5 spots, Daniel Heddershot. So, and Jono is only down 1, so he's only lost that position to one driver to end up back where he is. Yeah, I love the scheme on those fully floored cars. I am a fan of orange on a race car. I reckon it's a bloody good colour.
Yeah, it does look pretty cool. Interestingly, I'm not sure if there's any Aussies running for Misfits. I don't think there are, but if you watch the V8 Supercar support classes, you'll often hear those Aussie commentators talking about green in a race car being bad luck. I'm assuming that's an Aussie thing, because obviously we know certainly not a British thing. British racing green is very much a thing.
Yeah, that's a popular colour. Jacob Lucas in the pits. I wonder if he may have come across there somewhere in the data, Shane.
We do have crash data on Jacob Lucas.
Oh, Liam Jacobs.
Sorry, yes, Liam Jacobs. I don't know why I said Jacob Lucas, but anyway. Oh!
You made me think I said it as well.
And that's heavy damage to the front left there.
No, you're going for a little bit of a different paint scheme to the other Simblacks cars, running the black. I reckon that looks smack. That looks good.
Yeah, we've got a couple of different liveries out there. The black and gold option and the white option. So
Yeah, that front left's pretty stoved in there, buddy.
yeah, it is. He did a good job to bring that back to the pits and keep us under green. Although at this point in the race, I think if he had requested a tow, race control would have let him tow and just let it run, because we are now on the final lap. Darren Lobb holding a 1.8 second lead over Leo Duncan now. So since that safety car restart, he's just been able to push on and open up that gap.
Yeah, he's put in a fastest lap 1:31.73, so he is really going fire over these last few laps. Saved it all for the end.
Yeah, well, he went long on that first stint as we talked about and got in on lap 23 under the safety car. So only 12 laps really on this set of tyres, and he's just gone hell for leather and pushed the tyres as far as he can to open up that gap over Leo Duncan. And so far he's got enough. Of course, it's not over till the fat lady sings. He's still got half a lap to negotiate. And all it takes is one small lapse of concentration to end up buried in the fence here and sit and watch Leo Duncan walk by to a race win.
Yeah, a little too much curb or way too much wall.
Oh, and he
Who to go?
scraped the wall there. Slides it on the exit. Final corner's flat out. Comes across the line. Takes the win. Well done, Darren Lobb. P1. Leo Duncan coming across in second. Russell Pepperell will cross the line to take the final podium spot in third. Down to Graf coming under pressure on the final lap from Roger Forbert, but holds on for P4. Roger 5. Jono Gibson 6. Daniel Heddershine 7th. Trent Bennett 8th. Michael Gunstone 9th. Matthew Pluck rounding out the top 10. Brody Scott 11th. Peter Vanderberg 12th. Stefan Adams P13, Eamon Young P14, Jason Cossey P15, Blake Greenhall P16, Glenn Collinson P17, Chris Zapasic where he started in P18, Robbie Bradbury P19, Scott McKenzie P20, Jordan Duffett P21, Dane Noda not quite at the line yet but running in P22. And bringing it past the pit exit now, through that final kink and comes across the line for P22. And Dan Nolan lapped down after that incident, but still running at the end, comes home P23. Liam Jacobs also a couple of laps down, but coming home P24. Already towed back to the pits, and Ross Watson was out early, not classified in P25.
Maybe first win of the season too for Darren Lobb. So well done getting that win, and he's letting those tyres rip back there as well. As we see Dan Nolan and the Jigsaw Camaro destroying those tyres, so Steve will have to buy him a new set. Got to
Yeah,
celebrate the little things, don't you?
absolutely, and I'm sure Steve will be happy to buy that set for watching his man celebrate getting to the finish line.
Yeah, you got to celebrate that for sure. And if you wanted to stick around Thursday night, Shano, we've got GTE series heading to Algarve.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting race there. Newer track to iRacing in Portugal there. Hosted the Portuguese Grand Prix during COVID times, and we're going to put some GTE cars around there on Thursday, so that's going to be plenty of fun to watch. So you can tune in and see it all here on the broadcasting lounge.
Yeah, next week for the V8s, we head to Okayama. So it'll be a 34 lap race around Okayama. And I hear some people are getting a little upset about that. But looking a little bit further down the track, round 10, Red Bull Ring. And it's going to be the first of the MRX Endurance Series, which is taking place over the 4 seasons this year. So the first one is going to be at the Red Bull Ring, and there's going to be practice on the Monday night, practice and qualifying, and a top 10 shootout, Shano, and we're going to be broadcasting that live from the broadcasting lounge. Well, somebody is. We'll be working that out a little bit further down the track. But yeah, so you'll be able to tune in on the Monday night, check out the probably the qualifying and a little bit of a yarn, and then we'll be into the top 10 shootout where the top 10 guys are going to be in a server, and wherever they get that one shot of glory around Red Bull Ring will decide the top 10. And it's the first time we've done that in Supercars NZ, so we're looking to tick another first off the box list for Supercars NZ. So that's something to look forward to, round 10. So that's another sort of 3 weeks away, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm very much looking forward to that. That's going to be very exciting. Live broadcast top 10 shootout. Can't wait for it. Very much looking forward to seeing how that goes. But as Dan Nolan gives us the skids, we've had a great race here tonight. Very much enjoyed watching 25 supercars do battle around the concrete jungle of Detroit as Dan's just finished off his Chevrolet engine there and tows back to the pits. So
Not
that'll just about do us for tonight. Big thanks to SimLab sponsoring the V8 series now. Still via All Ports. They are one of All Ports' big sim racing brands, and you can get those products and selected products at allports.nz for 15% off if you enter that code that's scrolling across the top now. SCNZ, all capitals, 15% off selected products for that. And if you want to see what those selected products are, all the links are on the Supercars NZ community Facebook group. Hit up Brett if you hit up BJ if you're keen for some paints or some sim photos or any of that sort of stuff. Find OKMS on Facebook and get all that. And Napa Auto Parts sponsoring the broadcaster lounge. Big thanks to them. Get into Napa for all your auto parts needs. And thanks, Corey, for joining me tonight.
You're welcome, Shane. I'm here most Tuesday nights, and obviously I was going to be away. Back surgery got cancelled, so I was pretty stoked because I got to be here for Detroit. Otherwise, I would have been sitting in Christchurch right now, waiting for tomorrow being my surgery day. But I got to be here for this, so can't complain about that.
Yeah, absolutely happy to have you. And thanks everybody at home for tuning in. We will see you all for the next one, Thursday night, GTEs. See you then.